Hey everybody, today I'm going to do a video on the Terex side-by-side. We've had it now for about 4 years, and I'm going to go over the pros and the cons of it and also show you the accessories we've added to it. Alright, we'll start off on this side right here. I do need to get some new tires for this thing. It still has the original tires on it, which is surprising on the terrain that we drive it on all the time. Under here, right up here, I added some rock lights. So at nighttime it illuminates this area. It's an amber color. I also added these mirrors on here. And these are some of the hand grips I put on it. One on each side. I got those online, probably through Amazon or something. And we also added this windshield. I got that from Super ATV. It goes up and down, and you can clamp it to where it stays open a little bit and lets air through, or you can close it all the way. I added this little gun rack right here. It moves around some, but sometimes we have to move it for the kids. Don't want them to hit their knees and stuff on it. And on the back, we added this cover on the back. Keeps all the dust from flying up in there. That works really well. I've had it for a while now. I've got a few holes in it from putting my ice chest in here, and I guess it's just needs to be replaced before too long. But it's lasted since we bought it. That's one of the first things I bought. On the back, it has a trailer hitch, and then it also has, I put some more of those rock lights up here, one on this side, one on this side, and one right here in the middle on the back. So it's got 3 back here. Also on this back bumper part, I put some reverse lights right here. These were just like this right here. Had a a bolt with a nut on the back of it that held this piece together. When this light right here has like a threaded stud on it, and it goes through, and then I have a nut, so it's basically doing the same thing as that did. I have it wired into the reverse down there, so anytime it's in reverse, these 4 lights right here kick on, and it illuminates it pretty good back here. Going around to this side, these right here are on my switches. I added a horn. That's to the winch. This is to the interior lights, which are right up here. I've got one right there in the middle, and then I have one up here on this bar. It's kind of behind this the rear view mirror that I added. I put that on here too. So that's all my switches to the rock lights, interior light, the winch, and the horn. And then what else did I do? Coming around this side, I did add that winch. That one is it's a Badlands winch 3500. I bought that at Harbor Freight. And then I also have an accessory that came with that, I believe, is a power that you plug in the handheld. You can either do it from inside, or it has a cable that hooks into this, and you can control the winch out standing on the ground. So that's what that is right there. Also, I forgot, inside this compartment right here, you take the hood off. Well, there it goes. And I put a fuse panel right here. These right here are all my, that's my horn, my rock lights, my dome lights. I have it coming in from the battery, and then it's all on fuses. And you have all these spaces here where you can add different accessories. But so far I just have those 3 on here. This right here is a box I put on here. It's got stuff to the winch power where it connects, and has a big fuse in there. And then all this came with the winch. And then that right there is my horn that I added. And basically I think that's everything now. It's a little dirty. But you also have your regular fuses up here. I just added this fuse block just so make it easier to do the wiring on everything I was doing at the time. Okay, this is in my shed, so it's very dark in here. I'm going to show you my lights that I have. This one right here, this is the dome lights. I've got 2 lights, one up here on the front, and then one on this bar that goes across the back seat. And as you can see, it illuminates it pretty good. I don't know how good you can see that, but it's plenty for when you're in it. Then I also have the rock lights, which are these up underneath. I've got one mounted right here over the driver's side front tire, one over the winch, and then one over the passenger side passenger side tire front. And then we go to the back, and I've got one above each rear tire. Kind of illuminates it real good back here. And then with the headlights on, I think you have to have the key for that. These 2 right here on the left side are the headlights. You push it once for dim, controlled separately left and right. And then you push it again for bright. And then when you put it on bright, the lights illuminate. So you know it's on dim when they're not on. Also, what I added was some reverse lights. Right back here on the back, as you can see, that lights up the shop door pretty good. There was actually some screws right here. There was 4 screws, one there, and then the 3rd and 4th one was right here. And I took them out, and then I put these lights that you can wire into the reverse. That way, anytime you throw it in reverse, these lights come on. And they have the nut on the back side of the stud on the light, so it pretty much works like the bolt that was in it. Now for some of the pros and the cons. One of the cons, half of the year, is this is a mid-engine side-by-side. So that is where the heat is. And when it's 100 degrees outside, it gets kind of warm around that out riding around. But it's not too bad to where it's not tolerable. We've never had an issue where we've had to stop because that motor made us too hot. Another one of the cons, which at the winter time it's a plus, because it kind of heats up that little area, And when you're out driving, you know, when it's below freezing outside, it's almost like having a mini heater in there. So it's half and half, but it's not bad enough in the summer to where it's too bad. Oh, that is one of the cons, is that spark plug. It's hard to get to, and if these things start fouling and it's not burning right, it'll make that exhaust so hot it'll burn a hole in this cover right here, right above the exhaust. It's done it. It happened to us, and we took it in and they replaced it. It was under warranty, and it was just a foul spark plug. So it's got two of them on it, one on this side on the back and one on the driver's side on the front. So you just need to make sure that if it's ever running bad or starting to run bad, to make sure to check those spark plugs, because if you drive it and one of them's not good, that it just doesn't burn right, and that exhaust system will get glowing red hot and burn up your plastic stuff around it. Okay, another thing is this roof right here, this gutter system they have. Water comes off and it goes in this channel, and a lot of times when it's just sitting there, water will catch up in that. When you start to drive, it comes out the end right here, and it goes right on your outside leg sitting in here on either side. Just depends on which way it tilts to first, and I did not like that at all. So what I did is I made out of some thick rubber, you buy some squares at Home Depot or somewhere, and I glued that to the end of this to keep the water from coming out, and I caulked it real good inside, and I cut these channels in the front. I cut 3 of them, one here, and then one in the middle right there, and then one down there on the other end. So that way, whenever it does rain and you have the window down, the rain's going to come out this hole right here, and it's going to go on the windshield and go down. And even when the window's open, it tilts forward, so we don't have any issue with it come draining back in on us. And I did that on both sides to keep the water from coming out, because I hated that. Also, one thing that we love is the stadium seating. I like it to where people in the back can actually see where we're going, and it's very roomy and comfortable. These seats to me are comfortable when we go out on rides. Plenty of room. I'm 6 foot, have plenty of room in here. My brother's 6'4", he's never had an issue in here. Plenty of room in the back, got plenty of leg room. Lot of headspace. That's not an issue at all. And Sandra loves driving this thing. It's so easy to drive. It has a high and a low. So you basically just have to get in, put it in high or low, and go. You have to, this has a safety on it to where if you have that brake pulled up, it's going to kind of start cutting out and it's not going to go full speed or anything. And also, if you do not have this driver's seat belt in, it's going to do the same thing. So you have to have that seat belt in at all times, and you have to make sure the brake is off, or it's going to kind of start sputtering. This right here is the 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, and the lock. I usually use that lock when I'm backing it up on my trailer. All 4, it causes it just to go right up on there. It's a really steep incline. And then that's just the ignition. And then here's another outlet for 12 volt, you know, plug your phone or whatever in. And I think that's about everything that I've done. So I definitely would recommend them. We love it. We went up there, I think I don't know, maybe a month or two ago. Diesel prices were getting back really high, so we decided to save a little bit of money and not take the side-by-side pulling a trailer. And we went up there and we just used our four-wheeler, and we missed this thing so much. This thing is so much comfortable, and I don't think we'll do that again. So I think that me and Sandra both would buy it again in a second. Haven't had any issues other than those two. And we like this color. And I'll just do a walk around of it real quick to end the video. We want to thank y'all for watching. And if you like any content on this channel at all that we put out, we would really appreciate it if you would like, share, and subscribe. It'd really mean a lot to us. Thank you.